making today a chocolate seed ball that is incredibly delicious and yummy.
Yep.
Hi everybody and welcome to the kitchen with me, Chef Cynthia Louise, and my mate Kalani, who's wiping up for me.
And getting very excited about chocolate. These balls are my favourite.
Why?
Because I love having a little bit of chocolate each in my day. But these are not really chocolatey, and they've still got all the nuts and seeds and raisins and good things. I feel like they're good for me without having too much chocolate.
Yeah, totally.
They're so tasty.
I just kind of winged this recipe on the fly, didn't I?
Yeah.
One day.
And this is one of my favourite ones.
It's really, really quite cool. So coming close, Gungun. Gungun's behind the camera. Hi, Gungun.
Hi.
So I've got some hemp seeds. I've got some flax seeds. If you have ground flax, that's fine. These are in their whole form. It doesn't matter if you have ground. I've got some currants. I've got some coconut. I've got some cacao powder. I've got some psyllium husks here. Feel that. Amazing, hey?
Wow.
I've got some coconut sugar. I've got some oats. I've got some cacao paste. I've got some cinnamon just here. I've got some tahini here. And somewhere on my shelf, I have some almond butter. That's the nut component. Notice how there's no nuts in there?
Yeah, so it's not a lot of fat in this one.
Exactly. And the
Most
fat
little balls you find, they have lots of
dates. Yeah, no. So it's the chocolate that we love, right?
Yeah.
So this is cacao paste. Have a whiff of that.
Oh, that smells amazing.
I know, right?
Wow.
It's amazing. So I've got the paste, which you can get from most Whole Food stores. I'm just going to chop it up roughly. Now we're going to put everything, and I'd love you to help me, Kalani.
Yep.
I want all of that in here, please. Everything from that tray. What I find with this recipe now, so if you're at home and you know this recipe now, and you didn't have all those ingredients, you know to substitute, right?
Yeah.
Sunflower seeds for linseeds, pepitas for linseeds, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Changing the currants over to sultanas or prunes or figs or dried pears or something like that. The psyllium husks are really important. It's almost like a colon cleanse.
Yeah.
This one, it's super cool.
It's so yummy.
It's so good. And then I've
been giving this to Sienna as a treat in her lunchbox.
Yeah.
And she thinks it's all chocolate, and I'm getting all the good seeds into her.
I hope she chews it.
Yeah.
So you can grab me some tahini. Oh yeah. So see the oil that comes to the surface? Have a look at this, Gungun. What happens with tahini? So these are ground sesame seeds. And when the heat rises, the oil comes to the surface. So our job is to somehow mix that through. So we're not just getting a big dump of oil.
Yeah.
It's quite amazing, isn't it? So you want to just give it a bit of a stir.
Yep.
I've got some cinnamon. Cinnamon and chocolate go well together.
Yeah.
Okay, they bring out each other's glory.
Yep.
Just a splash of cinnamon, I reckon about 1/4 teaspoon. And then I've got some almond butter.
That smells so good.
It's
and
amazing.
the cinnamon.
Yeah. So just you know, follow the recipe with the almond butter and the tahini and the cinnamon, because that's what's going to make things come together and stick. So a nice tablespoon of that, Kalani, into here. I love it that you can cook now.
Me too. My mum loves it that I can cook now.
Your mum said to me, I'm so grateful that you taught her how to cook. Kalani lives down the road. She's the fabulous nanny of my dearest friends. And during her non-nannying times when Sienna's at school, she's in the kitchen with me. Or we're having a salad somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, everything's in here.
We're always eating.
We're always eating. Everything's in here. So the key ingredient, salt.
Salt.
Yes, salt brings out flavour, pulls out the flavour of all those ingredients so they actually become abundant. So you know when we put salt on tomato, something happens?
Yeah.
Or when we put salt on cucumber, it's like, same thing.
So
Same
just a
thing.
little pinch of
Just
salt.
a little pinch of salt.
Yep.
So now we want to blend it and we want to work out, do we need more sweetener?
Okay.
That's the gig. All right, so have a taste. See how grainy it is?
Yeah.
It's not even combined together.
Yeah.
Let's have a taste. This is where you decide, does it need more sweetener? You need to make that decision.
It needs a tiny bit more.
Doesn't it? And this
Honey,
is
yeah.
where you guys can use honey.
Yeah, I think
You
honey.
can use,
Doesn't need any more cacao or...
I think I've got some maple syrup here actually. It doesn't need cacao. No, definitely doesn't need
A little
cacao.
bit more honey or...
You want to grab some honey from over there? I thought that was honey.
Yeah.
See how grainy it is? It's not even coming together. That white honey.
Oh, that.
Yeah. It's beautiful, isn't it? Doesn't need any more cacao at all, does it?
No. Yeah, I think it would just need a little bit more honey or maple or...
Yeah, just a little bit of sweetener, especially for the kids, right?
Yeah.
It's coming together. Do you want to grab me a little bit of water in that thing?
Yep.
So it's coming together with those seeds. Amazing. Just going to add a splash of water. Yeah, just like half of that. Yeah, about a teaspoon. Guys, start with a teaspoon and then work your way up. So, see how it just came together?
Yeah. Wow.
See what water does?
Perfect.
I know, right?
That was perfect.
So have another taste.
Yep.
Bit more salt. Yummy. Another whiz. Awesome. Okay, have a squish of it. Looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, dump it into that tray.
Out comes the...
Yep, out comes that. Chuck that over here. See how squishy that is?
Yum.
Okay. So I've got some coconut here, Gungun. Do you want to have a look at this? Dump some coconut on there. And then
Fun begins.
the fun begins. And we like to roll them small. That's another thing a lot of people do. They roll these really big situations. I
Mega.
just want one little mouthful.
Yeah.
So quite small.
And you get so many that way as well. So many little ones.
And then straight into the coconut. Don't touch it. Just straight into the coconut.
How do you do the rolling?
So you squish and then roll. Is it coming apart?
No, all good. Just wasn't a perfect circle. I need it to be perfect.
Okay, let's do it together. So grab some. That's perfect. My hands are wet too.
Yeah.
So kind of squish it and then roll. And then work out if that's too much. That is a bit too much. Look at that. Keep rolling. Roll, baby, roll. We haven't even put these in the freezer yet. We've eaten them really quickly, haven't we?
Yeah. Yep. But they are best
What?
in the fridge.
And they set and they go like
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to wait though. It is hard.
Now, have a look here. This is why your mouth is the first point of digestion. You must chew this. Because if you don't chew this, right, they say chew your juice to activate digestion, to activate your digestion to do what it needs to do. So all those seeds in there
yeah.
need to be chewed in your teeth.
Yeah.
And this is what I learnt in health retreats and working with people, you know, that are quite sick actually, was teaching them how to chew. Really, really important. And just activating the mind, the brain, the saliva, the stomach
Mindful
acid,
eating.
mindful
I've been
eating.
My mum's been teaching me about that.
Who's been
Mindful
teaching you
eating.
about that?
My mum.
What did she say?
Um,
Hi, my mum.
Hi, Carly.
Kalani and Carly. What's she been saying?
Well, she went to a yoga retreat and they talked about mindful eating. So she came back and was just teaching me the simple techniques of
Yeah.
of beginning mindful eating. So the first thing before you even begin to chew your food is you sit down and you look at everything on your plate and you figure out, you talk about where everything came from. So the seeds, so they growed in the ground and then someone had to pick them. And are they from Australia or are they from Bali? You know, someone's driven the seeds to the shop where they've been manufactured, and where's the coconut from, and just really appreciating where all the different foods come from and locally sourced. And then you you breathe, take a deep breath, and then you start eating your food. And between each bite, you take another deep breath. So you have one bite.
And put your fork down.
Yep, put your fork down and you taste in your mouth, you taste the flavours, the crunch, what seed is this?
Yeah.
And really appreciate, this is going to nourish my body, this is good for me.
18 years old, people. You've done an amazing job, Carly. It's so true, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, there we go. We just put them in the fridge. I put them in an airtight container.
Yep.
And then we just have them.
And we just eat them all. They'll probably all be gone by tomorrow.
And what I'm going to say this, and this is something that when I used to work in health retreats, this is a poo thing. I know we're around food, but you got to hear it. If you see seeds in your poo, you know you haven't chewed.
Yeah.
Because to crush the seed and to salivate and to have all those actions it's important instead of just and swallowing.
And that's what, when you're doing the mindful eating, you really focus on chewing, tasting all the flavours, and really forming that kind of connectedness with your food.
Totally. I hope there's other 18-year-olds out there listening to this. So when you have them in the coconut, one of the greatest things you can do is just by rocking it, and then they just get covered in coconut slowly. And that's really it. There we go. Awesome. I will see you next week. See ya.
Bye.